Hi students, welcome to Ajitaha Free IAS Courses channel. In this video, we will discuss the continuation of our story of Indian press and its development during the British rule. As I have mentioned in the earlier class, we have segregated the different rules and regulations that were made during the British rule by the East India Company and the British government regarding the development of press and its restrictions into certain categories of time periods, that is before 1857 and after 1857 revolt and after Congress formation and World War II, during and after and during World War II period. Let us discuss about the rules and regulations that were brought in before 1857 revolt. The three important rules and regulations that were brought in before the 1857 revolt were Censorship of Press Act, that is censorship, and then licensing regulations. And focus on the terms licensing. But here it is not an act; it is just a regulation. And next thing is an act that is related to the press, which is also called as a Metcalfe Act. So let us discuss about these acts in detail. So in 1799, Censorship of Press Act was enacted. Let us look at the background. What were the situations and the circumstances that forced the East India Company at that time and the Governor Generals of Bengal? See, remember, it was Governor General of Bengal, neither Governor of Bengal, neither the Governor General of India, because in there were three presidencies, you all know, and we will also discuss about those everything in very detail in a very perfect classes that you will never ever need to read any other book like that I will teach. So in 1833, Governor General of Bengal became the Governor General of India. It was Warren Hastings? No. Type in the name of the person if you know, otherwise we will discuss in detail. Okay. So he became Governor General of India. So it was 1799. So the Governor of Bengal became the Governor General of Bengal through the 17, what was that? 73 Regulation Act. It was Warren Hastings. So after that, Lord Cornwallis and several other administrators also came on behalf of East India Company. They were called Governor Generals, like Director General, what we call. So they are doing governance, right? So they are called as Governor Generals. They are working on behalf of a company appointed by the Court of Directors. So the Governor General of Bengal at that time was Wellesley. It was Wellesley. He was appointed as Governor General for the period of 1796 till 1805 by Court of Directors of the company who sit at London. Okay. If you see 1799, right? uh, the Board of Control was already established through the Pitt's India Act. So there were two functions at that time, revenue functions and then political and military functions. So they were under the control of Court of Directors, and the revenue matters were under the control of uh, Board of Control. So the Court of Directors has appointed the Wellesley as Governor General, and in 1799 there was an anticipation by the British about the invasion of French under Napoleon Bonaparte, making he was that is Napoleon Bonaparte was trying to make an alliance with who? He was trying to make an alliance with Tipu Sultan. So, and also there was a lot of private trade also happening in the British administration. So there were internally some employees, and then the French, which was already established in India, that is in Pondicherry, that is they already lost the wars, that is three Carnatic wars, but still they are trying to have an influence and they are trying to pitch in. They were trying their best using multiple methodologies. So British government brought in this act of censorship of press act, and the reason was to restrict not only the newspapers in present in India, but also several other newspapers which were under the um, administration. I mean, the newspapers which are being published in the territories like Pondicherry, which are under the administrative control of French. For example, when I was mentioned in the previous video about Subramanya Bharati, to oh, escape from the British wrath. He escaped to Pondicherry, which was under the control of French, and he used to publish newspapers. He used to express his political opinions using different variety of newspapers. I have already mentioned that in my earlier video about Subramanya Bharati. You can watch it, and you can also comment the names of the newspapers which he published in a red paper rather than a white paper which you usually get now. He used to publish the newspaper in a red paper. Comment the name because of Tamil Nadu politics and other some other aspects also, there are chances about asking of Subramanya Bharati and other political leaders. So that's why I'm focusing more on those aspects. So the censorship of press act, the idea was to stop the French from publishing anything that could harm British in any way, so that its prestige would not be lost. And this are what brought pre-censorship. What is pre-censorship? That is, all the newspapers under the government scrutiny, all the newspapers under the all the newspapers should be brought under government scrutiny before their publication. This is what pre-censorship. If there is anything that is going to hurt the reputation of a government, they will not be allowed. So this is what that is pre-censorship, and then because of the wartime restrictions, because of the chance of war, of course, there was a war happening. That is Fourth Anglo-Mysore War was happening at the 1799. So because of the wartime restrictions, this Censorship of Press Act has been so important, and it also put a lot of restrictions along with pre-censorship. And even after 1799, this act was extended. What do you mean by extension? Not just about press publications, that is newspapers, it also extended to magazines, books, pamphlets. Okay, so these are the important aspects regarding the Censorship of Press Act, and we will discuss about the rest of the aspects in the next video. Thank you so much.